Ascension messages. Questions and answers, intervention, permissive 5D Federation behavior, ET invasion. We have every right to claim our sovereignty, and these words must come from our hearts.
We are the ones who are suffering through these imposed psychotic games. There is monumental spiritual growth potential, the magnitude of which may cost us our physical life and emotional feelings being experienced at present.
As a humanity, we are caught up entrapping ourselves in the manifestation of our own creation.
And the 5D Federation are only giving humans what they collectively want and ask for on a group lower conscious level. The 5D Federation that are overseeing humanity at these times are beings who are people with their own personal internal processes, learning through their own experiences, making mistakes as a part of this process. They are acting out what they believe to be their own truth, and it is only through this process that you can observe any flaws, correct them, then proceed with the new version of self that continues observing its own progress. This is how we grow and evolve, this is how we build our soul, through experience. The 5D Federation is simply doing what they see as the best course of action for every event and circumstance as it develops. This is how evolution works.
This does not make the 5D Federation bad, it is the realization of life.
Humans are caught up in their own problems that they manifest for themselves and do not see any other way to act, because they believe that the way they are acting is the only way. Humans are engaging themselves in their continuous cycles, circling endlessly trying to survive, in a world that demands obedience that controls the individual with money, greed and power. The 5D Federation is only in charge of giving humans what they are asking for. Before incarnating into Earth at these times, you knew what was going to happen, you knew it was going to be difficult, to be hard. At this higher level, living in a holographic social society before incarnating, you knew that what the 5D Federation would be giving humanity was not going to be right. However, you understood the 5D Federation were giving humanity what it was asking for, and this is humanity's free will. The 5D Federation does try to respect the free will principle as much as possible, as well as the non-interference protocol and non-intervention laws that must be observed. There are some races that do not agree with what humans are asking for, as they know that these requests are generally made from the lower conscious levels of consciousness, that most humans are unaware they are operating from. Humans have trapped themselves, have been mind-controlled and have been deceived of higher truths, higher awareness, believing in a deterministic reality, that they have little to no control or influence over their own lives. This is why the human population has been quarantined upon Earth, so that they do not contaminate or spread their disorder of life experiences, especially the nightmares and negative regressive creations that humans keep manifesting in the darkness of the human mind. As long as humans engulf themselves in these vicious cycles of creation, the 5D Federation can only send into Earth star seeds as an indirect way of helping humanity. It cannot intervene directly or be observed as giving direct help or support. Instead, they sent the star seeds, agents of the 5D Federation in the form of star seeds. The star seeds' job is made more difficult because humans keep on manifesting their own nightmares, escalating the manifestation of humans' life problems. In response, the 5D Federation accelerates the same processes that humans keep asking for, attempting to make them understand that they are asleep and heading in the wrong direction, to wake them up, and to assist them by giving them other options, so that humanity can evolve into a new species. It is this action that can be interpreted as negative towards humans, although from the 5D Federation point of view, they are only giving humans what they are asking for. This situation becomes more complicated to understand when the non-empathic races making up the 5D Federation misunderstand the emotional responses of beings who are on the receiving end of their response tactics. This action often accelerates the action of what humans are asking for, especially on a group or lower mass conscious level. The 5D Federation is bound by the law of free will, and cannot intervene directly on Earth. That is why the 5D Federation never presents itself openly or directly, and hides its hands that are everywhere, and does not even allow evidence of its existence, even with ET craft landing, or even while occupying clearly visible lower atmosphere observation, although the ionizing gases of the ET's plasma jets superheats the atmosphere gases, that indicates the presence of ET ships.
The majority of 5D Federation races are of the non-emotional races, and do not understand the emotional process that the human race experiences.
Instead, they apply logic and reasoning behind the rational in all decision-making processes. This is why the 5D Federation can be considered as cruel and permissive, and not really understanding from the human 3D perspective of the real suffering and desperation that humans feel. The 5D Federation, from their perspective, see no other way. They see that they have good intentions, and this is why it can be viewed as negative intervention from humanity's perspective. However, both points of view are valid. This is why all conflict on Earth can be viewed merely as theater. The 5D Federation is in charge of everything, all sides, and they can and do determine the outcome of all events. This is why we call it theater. This includes all wars, hatred movements, banking systems, corrupt governments, science, education and religions, etc. It is all theater to awaken humanity. Humanity is unpredictable, and with the imposition of destructive systems the outcome is not assured. Humanity carries this memory of many civilizations and countless incarnations, and at this deep level this memory will trigger them into reaction under extreme levels of totalitarianism control. With this level of total control, triggered memory opposition occurs within every biological cell of the human body. The memory of previously experienced conditions that were unacceptable with such extreme levels of totalitarianism is re-experienced emotionally.
Without the spirit, the body will die.
This is the final test, the final conflict that humanity now faces on Earth today. The 5D Federation is pushing hard, meeting the fears of humanity, ensuring the inevitable final conflict, and from this position, the remembrances of humanity's sovereign rights to say, no.
Question. Please give an example of what you are saying.
Answer.
Imagine that you are being tortured. What are you going to do?
Question. I suppose I would endure it, try not to let it hurt me, and ultimately cry out with pain if it gets too much.
Answer.
Then what?
Question. Maybe if I cannot stand it anymore, try and move my consciousness out of my body so I no longer feel the pain.
Answer.
Then what?
Question. Tell my torturer that they may cause pain in my body, but my mind, my consciousness and my spirit is free, and I have control over these parts of me.
Answer.
Then what?
Question. Tell my torturer that I am stronger than them, as they are trying to force me to comply with whatever they want me to be. However, I am not forcing them to be anything other than what they are already.
Answer.
Then what?
Question. Well, the only thing left I can do is try to love them, as the idea I have is that we are all one.
Answer.
Then what?
Question. I have nothing left that I can think of.
Answer. There is one very important statement that you can make, that is to say no to your torturer, and that you do not give your permission. Simply put, that by not saying no to the torturer, you are by default actually saying yes.
This is where humanity is today.
You are all being tortured, and by doing nothing apart from putting up with it, hoping it will all go away, you are giving your permission for it to continue. With the law of mirrors you are inflicting this pain, struggle and suffering upon yourselves by not doing anything about it yourself. However, by saying no, you are declaring to the universe and to your torturer that you are a sovereign being, and you are exercising your universal rights of free will, to express yourself in whatever way you wish. And in this case, your torturer has no right to exercise its will upon you. As a sovereign being, you have free will, and no one has the right to prevent your expression of that free will, providing you are not forcing your will onto another that would prevent them from exercising their expression of free will. We must all come together as a one humanity, exercising our universal right as sovereign beings, cooperating together on the frequency of love and compassion, while honoring all life with mutual respect. This is what star seeds are remembering and mentoring other star seeds, who are in turn mentoring the masses. When enough of you say, no, to the permissive 3D perceived torture by the 5D Federation, everything will change. From a 7D perspective, the Earth's problems together with the 5D Federation's way of handling this problem, are seen as one of the same thing.
The success or failures with all parties are viewed as one larger event.
Humans and 5D Federation with its star seeds are all part of the experience, and all are fully engaged in this experience of contrast for growth. It is a learning experience for all, and is an evolutionary process playing out in a greater cosmic game. Viewed from above by 7D, the problems are generated and played out by all these players, the 5D Federation and all of humanity. The Alcyone Council 7D level have eyes and ears on Earth at these times, and are watching with great interest. They know that the 5D Federation has within its thinking that friction and suffering accelerates spiritual growth.
As soon as humans entered this game, they gave their permission for this deception.
However, at these levels of deception the cost to the emotions becomes extreme, and in response so does human behavior. Emotions play a huge role and have extreme importance, and the 5D Federation ignore this fact. On this current timeline, the 5D Federation will impose its order upon Earth, and as a result many will suffer and die. There will be a lot of conflict, regional wars, famine and great suffering, all in the name of planetary progress and in the name of the good of all.
It is here that the 5D Federation forget human emotions.
The problems with the Cabal and their Satanist agenda will be resolved, as the 5D Federation take full control of Earth. The regressives, archons, reptilians, Satanists, are creations of the human mind manifesting their fears. All the regressives will dissolve during the 5D Federation's intervention as they take total control of Earth. A new One World Unity movement can arise rather than the regressives' One World Order.
Humanity is at a precipice to which one it will choose.
The 5D Federation has full control over Earth, and has done so for the past few thousand years. From today's perspective, Earth is undergoing a full-scale ET invasion. It is a total takeover, using hidden methods and an intelligence far above human intelligence. The 5D Federation is the one that is in full control of everything from above. This is the permissiveness that we speak of, by giving orders directly to the regressives with what they should do next. They use methods of control and manipulation already proven on Earth: Roman control, conquering all lands and its peoples and controlling their minds, taking control through vastly superior military power. The 5D Federation will offer those regressives in power the chance to keep their elite and powerful positions, as long as they keep working for the 5D Federation. The 5D Federation will leave in power these controllers and their chain of command, and this is why the 5D Federation's action is seen as permissive. Politicians, such as Putin, Trump, Chinese Communist Party and leaders of the European Union etc., as well as dark characters such as Soros, Bill Gates, the Clintons and Obama, amongst others, are only the front or puppets for everything within these gigantic secret societies. The 5D Federation controls them all. The 5D Federation see these leaders as the true leaders here on Earth, the true representatives of humans reflecting the lower mass consciousness of humanity. 5D Federation orders are passed on to these dark representatives, who pass on the same orders to other secret societies, who then in turn, pass on these orders to the deep state, and in turn, to the common politicians known to the masses. There are many agendas and factions fighting each other, at all of these levels with power struggles, sometimes coordinating their agendas, and at other times fighting each other for control. The 5D Federation believe they cannot work with humans on Earth, as long as they have so many political leaders from all the different nations. They believe they need only to have one ordered global nation, one controlling government that represents all of humanity. This is why they are orchestrating a one world order on Earth before they can, and will implement further measures to awaken humanity. This is why the 5D Federation manipulates and controls the world population, giving orders and coordinating directly with these groups, the governments behind the governments. These are the groups that are controlling what you call the deep state, that in turn speak to world leaders like Putin and Trump.
Question: how can all of this madness bring about global ascension to move humanity back into 5D, when the 5D Federation is insisting on planetary ascension their way, through more suffering that seems to perpetuate our 3D madness? This is only abusing humanity even more, and does not seem like mentoring, it seems more like psychotic abuse.
Answer: The 5D Federation only sees the implementation of a single government, with a single religion, and a single currency, as the only solution to the problems and conflicts on Earth. It is because of this many of the star seeds have reached up into the 5D Federation's consciousness, protesting with this permissive behavior, especially shining their light upon the blatant disregard, when twisting or ignoring at their convenience, the law of free will and the laws from the prime directive of non-intervention. It is in regard to these two directives that the Council of Alcyone has intervened as a member of the M45 Pleiades star cluster, that have proceeded to this next level of the Federation, 7D, this being the next step level of the Galactic Holographic Society. It is at this next 7D level that the Federation has proceeded to intervene directly with the 5D Federation for its permissiveness, that now has direct influence on Earth today. This action has presented humanity the opportunity for their collective quantum leap into a new timeline, that will deliver humanity back into the galactic community, as they grow and evolve with constructive assistance observing these two directives, the law of free will and the protocols of non-intervention. The direct intervention is being applied at the 5D Federation level, the headquarters of which is located in the dimensional rings of Saturn. The permissive consciousness and ideas of mentoring through a manipulated one-world order, one-world currency, and a one-world religion, has now been creatively challenged and stalled. However, these effects will filter through in time to Earth, especially to the consciousness of star seeds, that will then initiate change. To ensure that the 5D Federation observe the non-intervention protocols, the 5D Federation's star seeds will be mentored by higher thought, intuition, and perceptive insight, providing new and creative solutions. New way showers will emerge from the masses, some existing, receptive humanitarian-styled individuals and groups already in positions of influence will be further inspired and awoken with new ideas, that will feed and grow new sciences on all levels within human consciousness. As a result of the 7D intervention, humanity is now positioned to take a quantum leap into a new golden era of unimaginable growth in consciousness and awareness. However, this will only be achieved by the participation of all on Earth. This means action and not complacency. Humanity has the propensity of stagnation and tardiness with regards to spiritual growth and social innovation, often preferring to procrastinate or accept less than is their universal right. The Federation at a higher level will remove the deeper levels of cabal and alliance. These key individuals that most humans are unaware of, have remained hidden out of sight, but have had direct access to the now old 5D Federation directives.
Other levels of Earth's current deception will also be removed, but all out of human sight.
Humanity also has the propensity to worship outside authority figures, especially ETs. This has been experienced many times in the past, and now must be avoided. Humanity must grow and evolve in both consciousness and self-awareness, and not bow to any deity giving their self-reliance away.
The more visible human representatives of this deception will have to be dealt with by humans themselves as the new initiatives uncover their crimes against humanity.
Question: how could such deception occur in 5D?
Answer:
frequency match.
The deceptive and permissive consciousness on Earth has been a frequency match for the same deception and permissiveness within the lower 5D Federation.
And it will be at the next step level that this regressive behavior will be dealt with.
Similarly, it is dereliction of responsibility by not taking action at these levels of responsible guidance and mentoring, that will also be dealt with.
Question: when will we start to see changes?
Answer: the speed of the transition is up to you all as a humanity, and this can be measured through participation, the desire and commitment to embrace open source initiatives, to grow and evolve as a united one human race, mutually accepting responsible and sustainable growth in all aspects of consciousness. Indeed, in this lifetime it is possible for these changes to be experienced. However, it can only be changed with energized participation.
The Federation's helping hand will be invisible to the masses, and the new statesmen/women will take the credit for the initiatives.
This is how the stepped or layered mentoring system works. The cries of humanity have been heard, we have been listening to, and the star seeds on all levels have been doing their work. It is the human star seeds who guide the Federation with new tests, new challenges and new creations.
That is why you are there, that is what we have collectively agreed upon.
It is when we all learn to be compassionate and empathic, when we all learn to help others to work together without conflict, then and only then, can we all come closer together. We must all be each other's mentors and guides. There is no separation, there is no hierarchy, however, there is the illusion, and it is this that provides the contrast for experience. Let us not waste this golden opportunity. We must all work together in unity.
Every human being is on their own individual timeline. If you make no changes in your own life, nothing changes for you. If you wait to see what changes others will make, nothing will change for you. If you do nothing new, nothing will change for you. You cannot take old limiting beliefs with you while hoping to create a new future on a new timeline. The responsibility for your new future and new timeline depends upon you, and not what others are or are not doing.
Do not squander this golden opportunity by thinking you will just wait and see. This is complacency, and this is why we are in this mess. Your timeline is unique to you. The opportunity exists now for all of humanity to unite onto a new and uplifted timeline, expressing that unity and uplifted consciousness.
We can do this.
Tawana, Tawa, adventure with joy, with all its multiple meanings.